Have you ever wished you could have an assistant help you out with all those things that you just don't want to do? Well, so has everybody else. That's why there's so much opportunity. Look through Upwork. New requests are pouring in every minute. And this entrepreneur found out how to get customers willing to pay thousands. Last year, she made $144,000 just from virtual assistant work. But prior to that, she had to talk herself out of quitting several times and almost gave up on entrepreneurship altogether. But first, before we look into her journey, what is a virtual assistant? A virtual assistant, or VA, is a self-employed worker who specializes in offering administrative services to clients from a remote location, usually a home office. While our AI overlords may be improving at a rapid pace, they are not yet at the level of Tony Stark's Jarvis of the future. And that's actually a good thing for us because it means there's still a lot of room for humans to perform those administrative services and possibly more. Today we'll focus on Rebecca Morisuti, an entrepreneur who's seen the good, the bad, and the ugly sides of virtual assistantship. Back in 2011, her career seemed to be thriving as she had successfully moved up in a large company. But she was so stressed from her work, she was legitimately concerned about how she could live like that for the rest of her life. She had to explore a change for herself. In her frantic Googling, she came across virtual assistant work. She was intrigued because she didn't need any new skills, but scoffed at the idea of being an assistant, expecting people would judge her for taking a step down. So, that was that. She kept suffering silently and nothing changed. That was until she hit her breaking point 2 years later, being denied a simple 2% raise. After the meeting with her boss, when she got back to her desk, she immediately started looking for virtual assistant work. And within 24 hours, Rebecca landed her first client through Upwork. She started off doing business operations and customer management work for the client in her mornings and on lunch breaks. After only a month, she gave notice to her job. She'd crunched the numbers on what the absolute bare minimum income she would need to survive would be, and took that leap of faith that she could quickly hit that. And in only her 4th month, she did. Mark Cuban often talks about this, which he calls living like a student. It provides you with so much freedom to take risks and explore entrepreneurship when you can suck up your pride and live below your means. Continuing to grow through Upwork and LinkedIn, she made $65,000 in her first year. While growing, she took any job that was available and felt lucky to do so, but before too long, came to resent this. She was working with clients who expected her to work specific, rigid hours, which made her more like an employee rather than a business owner. By 2016, she was already burnt out again. It was so bad, she thought it may just be better to go back to her 9-to-5 and give up on entrepreneurship. But the problem wasn't the work. It was how she was charging. Rebecca's compensation model was hourly, so as she improved at a task and became more efficient, she was actually penalized and earned less money. The solution was to flip the model on its head and adopt a totally new compensation model, a model favored by lawyers and a word favored by orthodontists, retainer. Retainer-based pricing meant Rebecca was getting paid in advance for the work she was going to do, rather than being paid hourly for the work she had done. Her clients were paying to retain her availability. This provided more flexibility and predictable income, but also allowed her to put together a case for being paid more, as she had taken on more responsibility. Some clients left, but others were happy to do so because Rebecca had proven herself. With this method, in 2023, Rebecca made $144,000. She has clients who pay her as much as $6,000 a month. This is also while she's reduced her workload to focus on her next step, where she's becoming a mentor for other women looking to get into VA work. There are a few things we can all take from her story. 1, don't let pride get in your own way. You may feel too good for something, be afraid of looking silly or being judged by others, but that's only doing a disservice to yourself. 2, understand what sacrifices you're truly willing and able to make. If Rebecca wasn't willing to trade off her finances in the short term by leaving her job, she may have taken a lot longer to get to where she is, or it may not have even happened at all. If you have obligations, for example, like children, you may not be able to leave a job due to finances, insurance, etc., but you can find that trade-off to make somewhere else. 3, avoid trading time for money once it's an option. You will probably have to start off doing this for most things, but there will come a point where you can make that choice to stop. It's scary, but with time and experimentation, you can absolutely do it. And if you're looking for more specific advice on becoming a VA, Rebecca has plenty to offer you. From the handful of things I've seen and read, it seems like practical, actionable tips on how to express through communication, preparedness, and interactions that you care so people hire you and pay you more money. Rebecca Morassudi's tools have evolved over time, but she started off needing almost nothing and still doesn't need much. Pretty much the only real requirement is access to a computer connected to the internet. She used Upwork to initially get clients and then expanded to LinkedIn too. Rebecca now has a few more needs for her mentorship program, like a new focus on Instagram, Squarespace for her website, and since she runs sales and coaching calls, a video conferencing software like Zoom. I'm guessing she probably uses some tools for productivity as well, but I couldn't find those to confirm. Overall though, to get started, this really takes almost nothing you probably don't already have. And if you follow that, you too might be virtually assisting your own clients and bank account. For stories about more entrepreneurs like Rebecca, make sure to subscribe. And to see how another entrepreneur was able to make over $100,000 online with almost no resources needed to start, check out this video.